Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to dive really deep into the invisible, algorithmic hand that decides what you stream tonight. So, you might think you're just casually browsing for a movie, but there is actually an incredibly sophisticated mathematical engine working right there behind the scenes, literally analyzing every single move you make.
Now, you know that feeling when you scroll for 2 hours just to end up rewatching The Office? We've all been there, right? Well, research shows you have exactly 60 to 90 seconds to find a show before you get overwhelmed, abandon the service entirely, and just go find something else to do. Humans are, it turns out, surprisingly bad at choosing between massive amounts of options.
So let's dive into this. Netflix actually calls this really narrow, high-stakes window the moment of truth, and their entire mathematical architecture is built from the ground up to win it. Because if they fail to help you find something engaging within those precious few seconds, the risk of you abandoning their service goes up substantially.
To win that moment of truth, your home screen isn't just powered by a single algorithm. Actually, scratch that. It's a super common misconception. Instead, it is a fiercely contested matrix of multiple algorithms all fighting for your attention at the exact same time. They all serve completely different use cases, and they come together to create the complete, personalized experience you see when you log in.
And this right here brilliantly illustrates what that mathematical matrix looks like visually. Notice how rows like suspenseful movies, which are driven by what's called the Personalized Video Ranker, or PVR, to score and order the entire catalog just for you, how they intersect with top picks rows. That top picks algorithm has a totally different job, right? It ignores the broad catalog completely and focuses only on finding the absolute best few recommendations at the very head of your ranking. It's like a giant puzzle coming together.
Every single row on your screen serves a different psychological purpose. So you have the Trending Now ranker, which capitalizes on short-term temporal events, like, say, a massive spike in romantic movies on Valentine's Day. Then you have the Continue Watching ranker. This one looks at the time elapsed since you paused a show to predict if you actually want to finish it or if you kind of just abandoned it for good. There are also the Because You Watched rows, which are driven by unpersonalized video-to-video similarity algorithms, but they're cleverly paired with personalized row selection.
Now, what's really fascinating about this is how unintuitive success can be. Look at these two variants of video similars for House of Cards that were used in real A/B testing. Your human intuition might tell you the bottom row is obviously better because it seems way more directly relevant. I mean, it even includes the original UK version of House of Cards. But during testing, the top row, which had a stronger overall popularity influence, actually outperformed the bottom one. No way, right? It really just goes to show how hard it is to separate good recommendations from truly great ones without hard data.
But hey, finding the right show to rank is only half the battle. We also need to understand how the visual presentation, the actual artwork itself, influences your decision to press play. Think about it. If the algorithm surfaces a title you've literally never heard of, what visual evidence can it possibly give you to prove that it's worth your time? Let's look at an amazing example of this artwork personalization in action. Say you watch a ton of Uma Thurman movies. Well, Netflix algorithms will recognize that preference and dynamically show you pulp fiction artwork featuring her. Meanwhile, a massive John Travolta fan is going to get an entirely different thumbnail featuring him for the exact same movie. The artwork is literally personalized to highlight the aspects of the title most relevant to you. It's a real game changer.
So to solve this sort of chicken and egg problem of image selection, the system uses something called contextual bandits to adaptively learn which artwork influences your specific click. You see, traditional batch A/B testing incurs what data scientists call regret, which basically means a lot of people over a long period suffer through a mediocre experience while the test is running just to find an average winner. Contextual bandits bypass all that by continuously adapting and selecting the absolute best image for your specific context in real time.
Okay, moving right along. Section 2, Under the Hood, the reality TV analogy. Let's see how this all builds mechanically. How do they filter through billions of options fast enough to populate your screen? Well, a great way to understand this architecture is by using an analogy very similar to casting a reality TV show. The process is split into 2 stages. First, you have the candidate generation stage. This is exactly like casting directors quickly reviewing thousands of audition tapes. It uses simple rules and filters to drop their irrelevant videos, narrowing billions of options down to a few thousand manageable candidates. Then, the ranking stage steps in. Think of this as the live audition. This is where those powerful machine learning models apply intense scrutiny to predict your exact watch time and engagement for those finalists, ultimately deciding who makes the final cut for your homepage. To accurately rank those finalists, platforms utilize hybrid recommender systems. These systems elegantly combine collaborative filtering, which is looking at what users with similar tastes to yours liked, with content-based filtering, which actually looks at the traits and metadata of the item itself. By mashing these approaches together, the system gets a much richer understanding of both the user and the content.
But there's a catch. All of these powerful machine learning models share a massive vulnerability, known in the industry as the cold start problem. What on earth happens when a system has absolutely no historical data to draw from? Like, how does it recommend anything to a brand new user, or figure out who wants to watch a movie that was just uploaded 10 minutes ago?
Let's look at the user cold start first. Since new subscribers haven't watched a single thing yet, platforms overcome this by leveraging those onboarding surveys, the ones asking you to pick a few initial favorites. They also track contextual data, like your location, or whether you are on a mobile device or a massive smart TV. Sometimes they even import social network data to build an initial profile, so they aren't just flying totally blind.
Conversely, you have the item cold start. When a brand new movie drops with 0 views, those collaborative filtering models we talked about, they're completely useless. So the system relies heavily on the movie's metadata, its genre, its cast, its director. And to manually gather those crucial initial clicks and jumpstart the algorithm, platforms will often push these brand new releases directly to a super prominent spot right on the homepage.
The absolutely crucial point here is that the algorithm uses absolutely every interaction to learn and recommend. Even a failed search query is treated as a cold start recommendation opportunity. Get this, when a user searched for FRN, looking for a movie that wasn't even in the catalog, the algorithm didn't just throw up a blank screen. It guessed their intent, French movies, and served up highly targeted alternatives. That is pretty smart.
And finally, we arrive at our last section, the business payoff, effective catalog size. Let's talk about why this matters. Now, why invest so many engineering hours into all this complex math? Well, notice the massive gap on this chart. Personalized ranking essentially expands what is called the effective catalog size by a whopping 4 times. Without personalization, everyone would just be shown the exact same massive blockbuster hits, and the rest of the catalog would literally gather digital dust. But by using personalized rankers, the system spreads viewership out across the whole catalog, successfully matching super niche titles with the specific micro-audiences that will actually love them. By increasing the take rate, which just means the fraction of recommendations that actually result in a play, and successfully guiding users through that stressful 60 to 90-second moment of truth we started with, the algorithm directly drives overall engagement. And in a subscription business model, maximizing that engagement is exactly what lowers cancellation rates and drives revenue for the business. So, as these digital ecosystems evolve to not just predict our preferences, but actively shape them through these continuous feedback loops, it leaves us with one seriously fascinating question to ponder. The next time a movie feels perfectly, magically picked just for you, who really made the choice? Was it you, or was it the algorithm? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope it helps you see your digital world in a completely new light. See you next time.